Hey, Jim here from K2 Concepts, shooting a real quick video on maintenance. Maintenance is something that most guys, they don't like to talk about. It's not a real thrill to talk about. You don't see many guys posting about doing maintenance on their shop. Let's face it, it's something that it's like changing oil on your car. Not a big thrill anymore. But the difference is that most of you guys maintain some kind of schedule on your cars and stuff like that, versus the guys I've seen in the shop. Sometimes we get to where we're just running, or we take it for granted when we come in all the equipment's going to work. For us, what I recommend is getting on a schedule. Usually the end of the year, beginning of the year works the best, and it's really weird how this business ebbs and flows. For some guys, December is when they slow down, take family vacations, kids are out of school, holidays, stuff like that. You know, November, December, things slow down. For others, between Black Friday and Christmas, that's when our business starts picking up, and we do a lot more volume in that time frame. It used to be that we would do maybe 1/3 of our whole year's volume in those 2 months, 2 or 3 months, leading up to Black Friday and including Christmas. So depending on what your business is, I like the end of the year. Now some guys will do it in the middle of the year, but you got to schedule some regular maintenance on your shop at some point. I suggest the end of the year, the beginning of the year. So for us, depending on where the time frame falls, it'll be the last of December or the 1st of January. And all right, well, what do we do? Well, you know, you got filters. You should be replacing your intake filters on your unit, on your paint booth, probably once a year. The Veladon ones last about a year or so, depending on your usage, but you should get in the habit of replacing those. And we're talking about yearly stuff, okay? Not just routine like your intake filters that you got to change or your exhaust filters when you're dirty or they get loaded up. This is, you know, yearly stuff. You don't have to do it maybe once a year. So your intake filters, if you guys got paint booths, you got belts that are on the roof, you're going to want to replace those once a year, just the way it is, okay? Don't go any longer. Don't take a chance. The problem is when something goes down, it's going to take you out of loop. It's going to cost you twice as much money than it would be just to do a little preventive maintenance. You've got motors, then you're gonna want to grease them up at least once a year. You've got intake filters on your air compressors. You know, change out the intake filters at least once a year. And then you've got oil. Now, if your compressor doesn't take oil, chances are it's got an oil level. You guys should take some time to check that. If it's a larger compressor like ours, we got a 15 horse, so you should be changing the oil at least once a year on those things. They're just like cars. The oil does break down. So those are yearly maintenance things. The other things that come to mind, drain your tanks on a regular basis. That's more of a monthly thing, but if you haven't done it in a while, now's a good time. So again, your intake filters, belts for your motors, your fan motors, exhaust fans on the roof, especially when they're on the roof and you can't get to them. It's going to take you a while. Just plan on doing it. Get it done. Get it over with. Oiling and greasing your motors, oil changes on your compressors, drain your lines, drain your tanks. Some of you guys have water separators and you've got the little filters inside the water separators. Now's a good time to change those out. Make sure you got new ones. Make sure you're up and running, because again, when you go down or when problems arise and you've got to go back and fix a bunch of stuff because you didn't change the desiccant out, or something in your water separators, or anything, it's going to cost you a lot more money than a preventive maintenance program. So end of the year, beginning of the year, always a good time to get on top of that stuff. Get it out of the way so you don't got to worry about it till next year. So that's it for this one. Join us on the forum, k2forums.com. You can email me at k2forums@gmail.com. If you need any supplies, ANI miniguns, ANI full-size guns, air gunzas, the DeVilbiss GPI, activators, everything's on k2shoponline.com. And that's it for this one. I hope you guys are having a good day dipping. We'll talk to you later.